We'll go to questions.
Yeah, I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. Didn't get to talk to you much before, and hopefully you're all staying safe. It's crazy times out there, crazy times here. We've been back a couple of days. We had some guys that weren't feeling good after the Detroit. We're on the trip and our travel party, and been experiencing some of the symptoms that we've got some guys tested. We're gonna have a few guys out for the game, but we're trying to follow the CDC rules, the Big Ten rules, the state of Michigan rules, the Lansing rules, the Michigan State rules, and it's been a little frustrating trying to figure out why we can't all get on the same page. But I guess today we finally got some things from the Big Ten that and I'm still not sure what they mean. I'm going to meet with the doctors tonight, and we're going to go over them. I know our doctors are meeting with people from Lansing to figure out just what our obligations are. We have most of our guys, the 3 or 4 guys, most of them don't have any symptoms. A couple that do. But we're treating them all the same right now. So we'll have some guys missing, but we're going to play the game because that's what we all decided last year. And I think that's what we should be doing. I guess the Big Ten came out today and said if you have 7 players and 1 coach, you should play. And some would argue that we don't have a coach here, but we do have 7 players, so we're going to play. And I think, it's kind of good. We're playing Tubby Smith, a good friend of mine, who I think's a great coach. He's got a team in High Point that has a guard that's one of the leading scorers in the whole country. The Wright kid is averaging over, I think, 21 points a game. They've played some good basketball, times against Northwestern, led Notre Dame. They've struggled a little bit at times, but as I said, it's so hard to figure out who's had COVID, who's had guys out. Everybody's had different starting lineups. Actually, ours has been as consistent as anybody's, but that'll change now. And so I think in Tubby, it's going to be a very well coached team. They'll play both man and zone, but I think his trademark has been man to man. They have some talent and they have some experience. As I said, Wright is a very good player. He's made hit more than 30 3-pointers already this year. The other kid that's a very good player that'll give us problems is Austin, because he plays the 4 and yet he's very versatile. He can shoot threes, averaging 14 and 7. And he's done some things that he was freshman of the week 4 times. And yet I think he's been a kid who's redshirted. I don't know if he redshirted last year. It was the COVID year. Nobody knows who's a freshman. I think he's a redshirted freshman or a COVID freshman or whatever we call him now. So we had a couple good days of practice, considering at one time we only had 8 guys practicing. But we got some things done. Our guys have been great. I learned a lot from the Oakland game. When I look back on it, we did some really, really, really good things. And yet I'd say still the biggest problem, which a lot of teams are having, is finishing games. We got to make sure we finish games. We have these great runs and then we still have these little setbacks. So that's been the battle cry this week, to finish games. Questions?
We'll go first to Matt and then over to Graham Couch.
Well, Tom, I guess the obvious question is, can you tell us who's going to be out? Or
yeah, me, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't care. I care, but Marcus Bingham will be out. Max Christie will be out. Let's see. We have trouble, but Stephen Izzo is going to be out. So we got we'll try to get 2 guys to make up for that. And then Pierre Brooks is definitely going to be out. Davis Smith, I think, will be able to play. and it looks like everybody else is pretty ready to go. But those guys are right on the bubble and trying to follow these rules, trying to figure out what they are. Maybe by tonight they'll change again. But as of right now, that's the way it looks.
So I would assume then you're, based on the rules we see today, you're hoping they're back potentially for Sunday?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think they'll be, I'm 99% sure they'll be back the day after the game. So I guess, there's some good news, but the bad news is you'd like to play this game and have a full set of people so that you're going into a game. We've been really moving the ball well. I think I talked to Greg Campion. He thought our unselfishness and ball movement was as good as anybody, and I think it is. And I mean, now other guys are going to get a chance, but you'd like to have some consistency and continuity. Bingham was just starting to come on, and Max had his best game. So, everybody's going through it. So no sense complaining about it. We just got to deal with it, and we'll deal with it. But the game plan is right now, that we'll have everybody by the day after the game.
And coaching staff wise, are you guys all good, or is it hit the staff too? Or
no, right now we haven't had any staff members, a manager, but no staff members. I'm a little bit like Judd, that disease doesn't even want to come to me, I guess, but I shouldn't make fun of it because it has been something that is driving the whole country crazy. But right now we're all good, and we're kind of bunkered down in this building. It's home to the building. It's a little bit like last year, but it's been good. I mean, it's been fun to have the players back, and we've done a great job kind of setting up where they're living, what they're doing, and where they're eating, and it's been good.
Go to you, Graham.
Yeah, are you sort of bracing for an odd January again, given what's going around in college hoops right now?
Well, Graham, I don't know. I don't know if I can brace for it because, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, we'll take Steven, for example. I know where he was every minute of the day because they were out of school, and it didn't matter, So I don't think it's anything anybody's doing wrong. I just think it's, I wouldn't say I'm bracing for it. I'm saying I'm talking about it as far as what to do to give yourself the best chance. But at the same time, we're just going to have to adjust. The good news is the way these rules look now compared to last year. If you remember, we were out 17 days. We didn't play a game in 20 days. Guys couldn't work out, couldn't do anything. Those rules are a lot less now, which means that you still are going to be missing somebody throughout the year, I'm sure, but it won't be like that amount of time where everybody's off and made it so difficult last year.
And so just a quick follow, if you're like your whole team is boosted and everything, even if you're a close contact, there's not an automatic, you
got to have it now,
right?
And that's the advantage of the vaccines. And so we've done everything we could do. I feel good about where we are. I feel good about what our medical staff has done. I feel great about what our players have done. I mean, we were in Detroit. They were just awesome, wear their masks where they needed to. They did what they needed to. So I feel really good. I'm a little worried about teams we play too, It's not just our team. It's teams we play. But it looks good for us. I talked to Tubby yesterday. His team was leaving today. They got off. They're on their way here. So there were no problems there. I think he had one guy. As you've seen, there's a zillion games. There's more than a couple bowl games being canceled. Hopefully we'll get to play the game. And then with these new restrictions and things, hopefully that'll make it a little better too, if it goes like it looks like it's going to go.
Go to Kyle Austin.
Yeah, Tom, just wondering what the lineup rotation looks like a little bit tomorrow. Maybe more Jaden and more Julius, and do any other guys kind of slide around to fill holes there?
Yeah, Marty, and we've said we're going to play AJ and Tyson together some. That could happen. But Marty and Julius will definitely, and I'm kind of excited about that in one respect, even though Marcus is really having a hell of a year. But Marty has been playing really, really well in practice. So I'm anxious to see how he does in a game. And, we'll all be a little worried about the first 5 minutes, conditioning, because it wasn't like we could come back and just go at it. We're all trying to get tested and do this and do that and go through all the protocol. And so it was a nerve-wracking 2 days, but it's the same for everybody. So it's going to be no excuse. It's just that usually you come back, you have 2 days the first day, 2 days the second day, then today a short practice. We weren't able to do all that, but we got a lot of work in. We got a lot of things covered. We got a lot of film sessions. We'll have a little free throw shooting tonight and be ready to go tomorrow. 3:00 game, hard to believe, must be bowl season. They have a little period there. Maybe we're an advertisement for somebody.
Go to Jared Ramsey.
Tom, I was just curious, you talked about the ball movement being one of the strengths of this team. Do you attribute that more to the success that AJ and Tyson have had, or an overall team effort to be unselfish?
I think both. Joey Hauser has passed the ball as well as anybody, and in the last game, if Gabe hits the normal shots that he's been hitting all year, our point guards have 20 assists and 2 turnovers in one game. I don't care who you are, where you are, that's an incredible feat. And Malik Hall right now, if he's not the 6th man of the year candidate, I don't know who is. He's playing so well and he's shooting the ball so well. He's been really good too, because him and Joey as forwards can pass the ball really well. So it has been a lot. The 2-point guards are playing better and better and better. But I just think everybody's been unselfish. It's kind of that trip to Detroit was good because we spent some time together, some camaraderie. I like where we are right now, but it's always nerve-wracking when you go through and play 2 games in 15 days. It's and then you got the COVID situation everybody has. Everybody's keeping their fingers crossed, but I like where we are right now. I really do.
Go next to WILX. I assume that's Fred back there.
Can you hear me, Max?
Yes, sir.
I think I hit the right button. You know me.
You did, Fred. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. Couple of things. I got a little distracted in the beginning. I heard the 4 names. Is this just precautionary? Do they just have symptoms? Did they test positive or what is it?
No, they've tested positive. It's
Okay.
not just symptoms. They've tested positive, but somewhere a while ago, so their time will be up. And that's what we're trying to figure out now with the new CDC rules and what the Big Ten will do, what the NCAA will do, what Michigan State will do, what the state of Michigan will do. Just pick and choose. Those are the things we're dealing with right now. And I wish we could all get on the same page. It sure make things better, but that hasn't happened in a year and a half. So I'm sure it's not going to happen anymore now.
And one basketball question, because you haven't played in 8 days, you probably just want to play with somebody, even if I play, right?
Almost, yes. Anybody, we play anybody except if it was you. We'll play anybody else. And you're right, we do need to play somebody. It's not just this 5 days since we played Oakland or 6 days. We've only played 2 games, since what?
December
Was
11th.
the last time we played, Max, on the
December 11th.
11th. So this will be our second game, from the 11th to the 29th. And that's not the norm. And yet we didn't get to have the normal practice time because we had finals in there and then we let them go home and then a little COVID. So a little different, but I like where our guys are. I'm a little worried about our conditioning, but I think we're in a good spot. I really do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go next to Sean Reeder.
Hi, Tom. Today it dropped that the Big Ten and the league, they adjusted their forfeiture policy with, impacted games. And now you can the league can now like review games to see if it'll be called a no contest or a forfeiture or just a regular cancellation. Was this something that you wanted or were ever in communication with the Big Ten about, or?
Well, we don't have any say. The coaches we have the least say of anybody, as you know, but I think there was a lot of controversy last year. What we said at the beginning of last year as Big Ten coaches, as the committees I'm on in the NCAA, nothing's going to be fair. We just got to play and get as many games in as we can. So I think the rule to have 7 players and 1 coach is probably a good rule. It's going to hurt somebody. It's going to help somebody, but at least it's the same for everybody. I like that. I saw in there, what I didn't like was, then it'll still be up for discretion if you think something's not right or wrong. I mean, there's always going to be excuses. We always got to leave loopholes. Doesn't seem like we can make a staunch decision on anything. And I think it should be 7 or 8 players and a coach. And hell, most of the fans probably think it should be 7 or 8 players and no coach. And that would be cool too. And we'll go. So I'm for the play if you can play and not worry that everything's not going to be equal. We're in strange times. The biggest thing is you got to get as many games in as you can without in any way affecting the health or safety of our players. But if you got 7 or 8 players, I mean, Minnesota's played with 7 players all year. So I think that's fair.
Go back.
Thank you.
Whoop, sorry, Sean.
No, it's good. You're good, Max.
Okay. We'll go back over to Kyle Austin.
Tom, did want to just ask about the game and your relationship with Tubby and, getting to play him again, at a new location. What does that kind of mean to you?
Well, we've had some interesting games, the one down at Ford Field when he had Kentucky and beat him there. Our first trip to the Final Fours when we beat Kentucky and St. Louis, and then of course his games at Minnesota. And Tubby's remained a good friend. Him and Don are I think are really good friends, and I have the utmost respect for him. He's gone back to his alma mater, trying to really rebuild that. They got a brand new place. He's got a good team, a young team, but I'm telling you, this guard is the real deal. And there's not many guys averaging 21 points a game in the whole country, and they're not doing it by being selfish. I mean, they move the ball well. They score points. They don't give up a ton of points. I think this is going to be a very solid game for us, but you never know exactly where they are. And you guys know as much as anybody where we are. And yet I don't know where we are totally, because you get in a game now and, you get a guy in foul trouble. Do you get a guy hurt? Do you get a guy, is conditioning worse than you think? A lot of things that could come up, but they're the same for both teams. And I say, let the games begin. I can't wait to get started again. After that, we start the Big Ten, and we know what a war those 18 games are going to be.
Awesome. Looks like that's all we have, Coach.
Sure, guys. Are most of you down at the bowl game?
Headed tomorrow. So
Headed tomorrow?
Yep.
Well, travel safe, guys. Enjoy that game. And when you get down there, I'm sure you'll all tune in at 3:00 in the afternoon. Although for a couple of you guys, I know that's nap time. So, change that to either 1 to 3 or 5 to 7. And have a good, if I don't see you, have a good New Year's. I hope all your New Year's dreams come true. And we're going to go try to win a game and get off to one of the best starts we've had. I think it's really been neat the way this team has bonded together, and we're a fun team to watch, but we know that there's going to be a lot tougher days ahead. And so I'm looking forward to it, and we'll try to win a game, and then we'll watch the bowl game. At one time I was going to try to fly down for it, but because of the outbreak and COVID and everything else, it wouldn't be fair to button up the players and let the coach run wild. So the coach will probably button up too and enjoy pulling for Mel on the on the tube. Maybe we'll have a watch party and cheer them on to a victory, hopefully after ours. So you guys have a good time. Have a good weekend. Have a good New Year's. Behave yourselves. And I'll see you maybe on the 1st or I don't know.
Second, yeah.
Yeah,
First or
second we play, but I'm sure you guys want an update on the 1st, and most of you will probably be hungover, so that won't be good. So those of you that aren't, maybe Max will probably have a press conference the 1st at 7:30 in the morning. So I'll see you guys there.
How about a
Sweet.
party, Max? How about a party?
Party. You'll have a party, all right.
It's-
All right, guys.
All right,
Take care.
thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for the
Thanks,
time.
everybody.